Hello, everyone. It is almost Pentecost. Pentecost is this Sunday, and I've been reading and preparing and looking at that Pentecost story over and over again. And I tell you what, this year, every time I read about the disciples huddled up in their home, huddled up in that upper room, waiting for the Holy Spirit to come over, to wash over them and send them out. Boy, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? We get huddled up in our little spaces wherever we are with those that we're with, and we're just kind of waiting for God to give the go ahead to say, "All right, now is the time," and get out and get busy with the mission that we have. It feels like it's just about waiting, but really that's not what the text says. Instead, it says that while they were waiting for the Holy Spirit to come with power, they devoted themselves to prayer. That's not just waiting, and they weren't just praying, God, give us the go ahead so we can go get on with what we want to do. No, they were praying. They were devoted to prayer. They were devoted to listening to God's leadership of their life. They were devoted to supporting one another, no matter where they were, no matter what was going on. They were devoted to listening to God and speaking in that life-giving presence and grace that God gives to us when we're connected with Him. Prayer is not about getting the words right, so that God will say yes to what we want. Prayer is about a relationship. It's about us listening and talking and sharing life with the one who gives all people everywhere and all of creation the life that only God can give. We are about being connected to that God. And when we devote ourselves to prayer, it's not just about saying, all right, I'm going to speak these words and wait for you to do your work. No, our work is that prayer. We are at work even now. And there will come a time for some other kinds of work, for getting out and connecting with people in different ways. But this is the time that we are devoted to one another in prayer, in life together, and in seeking where and how God will send us out. You know, the disciples were waiting for God's Spirit to come upon them to send them out, but I bet that they did not expect that when that Spirit came, they would be speaking other languages. They would be saying things that they had never dreamed of talking in ways. They would be communicating in ways they had never dreamed of. How true that is for us today as well. We are waiting for the Holy Spirit. But sometimes the Holy Spirit always the Holy Spirit is already at work in us. He is already there, shaping us, forming us, preparing us for what's next. And what's next is almost never what we expect. But it is where God will meet us on the journey. Keep living the story, and let's live it together.